Mark, since you are an acting coach for youth, today I brought in a review that we're really going to need your expertise on, okay? I have a 1-star Yelp review for... I'm nervous to say the company name.
Why?
I'm going to just say the company. Okay, so I have a 1-star Yelp review for Barbizon, youth acting and modeling company in Los Angeles, California.
Great.
That I feel really needs to be inspected. So how it works here is I'm going to read the review. We're going to break it down together. And all three of us will rate the impact on a scale from 1 to 5 crowns. And this is a very regal process that we like to call...
Assess that kvetch.
And it's your turn, Mark, to embody your review queenness and help us crown Trey's review. Are you ready for the challenge?
I am ready.
Woo!
You are so ready. Woo!
Review that review.
Okay, so today I have a 1-star review from Dolores L.
Dolores L.
From Yelp. This is for Barbizon, acting and modeling. Okay. Honestly, I was really excited and interested in this, but just wait. Me and my mom got approached by an older guy in Walmart telling us that there was an audition for Disney. He said that it was a short line, I had to say, and that it was going to be at the Marriott Hotel. He gave us an invitation that seemed legit. The next day, I went there, and about 25 kids there. We all went up and said our line. After that, we walked down the stage and went to this table. And all they said was, if we like you, we will call you within the week. About a week later, they gave us a address to a acting school. We went there and waited a long time. The girl came finally late, about an hour, and called us in and said, sorry, her grandpa died, and she lost track of time. Really, all a con. She told me to stand in the corner, T-H-E-E, and say my line. I did. Parentheses, honestly, I did horrible. I was really nervous and still asleep. Oh, I forgot. There was another kid there waiting as well. I noticed her from the audition. Not to be mean, but she was not good at all. She looked down the whole time and whispered her line and wouldn't stop shaking her leg. They said that they only picked 3 out of everyone that was there. Pretty weird. Anyways, I was really bad in the audition. And she smiled really big, it kind of scared me, and clapped and said, amazing. She told us the whole procedure, then told us the cost, $3,000 for the whole 6 months. My mom was willing to do whatever made me happy. The girl told me I can pay now or in 6 months. I was going to do the 6 months thing. I told my friend about it. She told me they came up to her about 4 years ago in a mall and told her and her sister the same thing. They auditioned and everything. They both made it. Their cost was $10,000 for both of them. Their mom did it for them. They went through with everything. Then on the last part, the final audition with a bunch of agents in the front row, they both did it. And a bunch of agents went up to her sister, telling her that she was amazing, and told her they were going to call her within the week. They never called her. And her mom wasted $10,000 for nothing. I thank God for my friend, because luckily my mom didn't waste her money too. All caps. This is just a huge money-hungry scam. Don't go here, please. And it's also weird that for all the reviews I've read, all the money prices is different.
Dolores. How old do we think Dolores is?
I think she's like 14. Maybe 13.
I think Dolores is an early teen. Sorry, I had a really hard time reading that because it really is like there's maybe 5 periods in this. It's all run-on sentences with no capitalizations. But I something about my heart like breaks that Dolores is like trying to like Dolores is the object of the scam and she's like, everyone be careful.
Yeah.
Dolores is looking out for Dolores.
Guys, I mean, I know it's not the most important thing about this review, but I just feel like Dolores is such an old name, and I just feel like Dolores is not Dolores. Like, I just think that Dolores is the mom, and then the daughter's writing on the mom's account. And it's coming up Dolores. Okay? I mean, I know it's not the big... We'll still call her Dolores for the sake of this assessment, but that's just my feeling. Okay. So many things. Mark, first off, what are your initial thoughts here?
Well, this is something I tell the parents about all the time. This is like a very real scam that happens with a lot of different companies like this and John Robert Powers. There used to be something called the Star Network. And they're all like basically scams where they go up to people in malls. They go up to people at Targets. They say, do you want to be an actor? There's this open Disney call where they say, Disney call, they'll post it. You can go to their websites, and then it's always at a hotel.
Oh my God,
okay?
It's so shady.
It's so shady, and normally she's Dolores, our friend, saying there's only 25 kids there. There's normally like 100 kids there.
I was gonna say I was shocked that it was so little. Yeah.
It was probably a bad day at Barbizon. So they, they give the kids like a commercial to read, and then a lot of times what they do is they give them a sticker that says they're going into the next round, that like you've made it past round 1 and you're going to the sticker, and then like, and they make it feel like the whole time you're auditioning until they sit you down at the end to offer you bells and whistles and wagons and Santa and money and fame and fortune, and it only costs $1,100.
Right.
I went to one once.
You did?
At the end, they were like, "You're good enough to come to LA," and it was like you went to LA with them and you met all these casting directors. And I was like, "No, thank you." But yeah,
wow.
it's the the famous bait and switch of selling. Now you need the headshots. Mm-hmm. Like that would have been the start.
Why do you think that
the $1,000 package?
So, but they're eliminating people, presumably, right? Or like, are they scamming all 25 people?
I don't think they're not eliminating anyone.
Yeah, I think they're telling you that to add the pressure. Like, oh, we've only accepted 3 people, and you're one of them.
Oh, got it. But they're really saying that to everybody.
Correct.
That's so gross.
But poor Dolores. And a parent, they want to hear their kid's a star. Yeah. They want, and every parent thinks their kid is gorgeous and talented and has something special. And then there are kids who actually do have talent and something special, and they're sometimes paying casting directors, agents, things like that to be at these events. So they are legitimate. They are getting in front of some of these people.
Yeah.
But to what cost?
Well, I was wondering about that because when they talked about the friend that had done it and the sister got in front of all the agents, and like, are those real agents at that point? Do we think?
They tend to be, and the things that
or like assistants or something.
And yeah, they're assistants. They're and the chances are, even if someone's really talented, unless they're like really marketable, they're not going to get a call. We used to do an industry showcase, a free showcase every year, and we'll do it again next fall. And we'd have like 300 kids audition. We'd put 40 showcase kids in the showcase, and it was completely free to be in it. They didn't have to pay anything. And we were doing that so that we could meet new kids. We'd have like 200 or 300 new kids we met. But out of those 40 that we thought were really marketable, maybe 15 got callbacks. So do you know what I mean? It's like, even if you have it and you're great, doesn't mean that an agent is looking for that. They might already have that.
Right.
So or they really just want really tiny kids. Yeah. Things like that.
It's interesting to me because I have a very close friend who was an on-staff improv teacher at Barbizon in Los Angeles. So they actually do teach, but it is all inside of this huge financial commitment that's required.
Right.
So But because Dolores is presumably young, I mean, they were the one that was scouted. It's an interesting perspective here because Mark and I have heard of Barbizon, and we have our own personal opinions of what Barbizon is, what this business model is. But from Dolores's point of view in this review, do we think that the information is valuable?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Very.
Because also think about it, if you're a parent, this is the other thing why it's so great that we have reviews in this way, is if like you got approached at the mall, it's very Googleable to find out, is this a real thing? And I always tell parents at Broadway Workshop, because we have a lot of kids come from all over the world really in the summer. And the last day I do this whole thing about if you're ever asked to pay money to get an agent, that is a scam.
Red flag.
If it sounds too good to be true, it is too good to be true. And if you have a question, email me and I will let you know. So I do get emails randomly and like, hey, I got stopped to do this thing. I'm like, yeah, this is just a community theater. They just want you in the show, and it's a $200 fee to be in the show. Like,
sure,
that's legit.
Ugh,
but if someone's like, I'm going to make you a star, and it costs $800 a month, and I'm going to put your picture in this book. Because that was like a big thing in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a kid, sort of like coming up. It was Faces International was the big one.
Yeah.
And
was that the one that was like
commercials.
at like reproductions? Like they would have like those books, I think, in the waiting rooms too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was this huge book, and you paid $250 or $500 if you wanted a full page. And they said, this is where all the agents and casting. My dad took me in to Faces International, and you meet with the model, and they're like, your teeth are crooked. Like you meet with all the people, but they're like, but for $500, you can have a quarter page in the book. And they show you this big, beautiful book. And then, of course, it all got
so
blown up.
gross.
And Elliott Gould was on the commercials.
Oh, my God.
You guys have to find a Faces International commercial. Put it on the Patreon.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Yes, we have to try. Write that down. That's so good. It's just so true, though. Like, I mean, as obviously we were all kids that wanted to be actors, and so I can so relate to Dolores in this moment, because when I was a kid, all I wanted was a commercial agent. Like, I just wanted to like hit the ground running and like be a little adult and be a star tomorrow. And so I just think it's so sad. There's something, you know, obviously there are acting programs that are out there that are taking advantage of like actors that are older like myself, but there's something that's even more evil about using children and then a parent's and then a parent's love for the child, like just manipulating that entire system just feels so gross to me.
Dolores. Yeah, she doesn't think she's very good.
I know.
Oh, that I wanted to talk to you about that.
She's like,
I
wanted to talk to you about
that. I wanted to talk to you about that, Mark. So like, so I'm hypercritical of myself as an actor always, right? And I've had to get used to watching myself on camera and like being able to assess myself like we all do. But do you think that it's possible to say like I was really bad, like to know?
I think it's like a kid who's just doing it for fun. Like, oh, it was really bad. Like they do the school play and they're like, oh my God, it was so embarrassing. It was like so bad.
But they might be good.
like,
I feel like sometimes the kids that are like, oh my God, I'm so bad, to me end up being good because they care less. And the kids that like really care and like really want to be great are really trying. They just look not natural and good. But if you're like on stage and you're like, this is ridiculous, I'm really bad, this is dumb, maybe that actually looks real. So I wonder if Dolores is being a little bit harsh on herself here.
Well, like as much as they say they want like real kids, they don't.
Yeah.
They want real kids that look real and are not annoying, but are good actors.
Right.
You know, like real kids, gritty, real kids. I'm like, yeah, but you need them to present well. You don't actually want real kids. So
true.
Dolores seems to me like salt of the earth. She's a real kid.
Well,
she's a real kid.
She's working at a bank now.
It reminds me of
just last year.
It reminds me of Max. It reminds me of how Audrey Hepburn famously said that every single day on set she thought she was going to be fired. But I don't think that that is Dolores' relation.
That's not what's happening here.
What do you think this one line of dialogue that they had to act was?
Oh my God.
It probably is like, my stomach always hurts, but now with new children's Tylenol, my stomach feels great. It's always a problem and a solution.
Right.
My mom packs the worst lunch, but now with new Lunchables, lunch is great every day.
New Lunchables.
It's like someone's always bad at something, and then they get real good at it.
Okay, back to Dolores. Spelling grammar is atrocious. I think that Dolores was on their mom's iPhone typing it in like, this is insane. This girl, like, she's really bad, not to be mean. And then I do think that Dolores is being truthful because it sounds like, as Mark was alluding to, it doesn't sound like Dolores has a lot in the game here. I think Dolores was like, this could be fun for Saturday. And like, oh, but I'm like a bad actor. So like this is bad. And this is a lot of money. So for that reason, it sounds to me like Dolores is being very truthful.
I think
Dolores is. We could trust her.
I think we could try. I just wonder, like, if we're writing this as an essay, why the first point of con was that the grandfather was sick or had died.
Because
that was
the
like
weird part,
right? Because like, so they're like,
Wait, what is that line, Trey?
Yeah,
it says Okay, here we go. It says about a week later, they gave us an address to a acting school. We went there and waited a long time. The girl came finally late, about an hour, and called us in and said, sorry, her grandpa died, and she lost track of time. Really all a con.
Really all a con. So like why is that the first piece of evidence? Like there's so many other.
Because she doesn't believe that she was late because her grandfather died. She thought she was late because of some other BS.
That's the con.
She like came in, late with a Starbucks. She's like,
yeah. Dolores is like,
I don't believe your grandfather
died. Mourning a grandpa looks like. I don't believe this.
I just thought that was so funny.
Humor on the review. How do we feel? I think it's incidentally humorous.
Yeah, anecdotal again.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so. Ultimately, before we go into crowning, what do you think? Like, would you find this to be a deal breaker for you? Like, if you were a parent?
Yes.
Yeah, I would too. That's why I love that Dolores is like not an angry mom, but like someone that actually walked through the experience and is like, this is a scam.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard the name Dolores and One Star, I just assumed that this was going to be a mother that was going to be giving us a tirade. And I love that it was from the kid's perspective. Yeah.
All right. So on a scale from 1 to 5 crowns, we will simultaneously reveal our ratings.
The queens are tabulating. Total score.
Oh my God, it's a 3-way unanimous 4 crowns, 4 crowns, 4 crowns. Dolores.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's a first.
Dolores is a little queen.
I agree.
A little queen.
I want to honor Dolores because maybe she is a star. And we're just finding it out here on Review That Review.
I want to see Dolores. I want to see if she is really bad because I have a feeling she's not.
I think.
What if I found Dolores and made her a star?
I think that
I think you should make Dolores a star.
She's like,
it's written in 2020.
Anastasia.
This is written in 2020.
Literally.
She's out there. She's hungry. Dolores, if you're listening, we're here for you. We'll support you.
So I said 4 crowns because ultimately I feel like Dolores really led from a protective heart. And while they didn't really do any autocorrect, they really didn't do any grammar. The punch was a huge. There was a huge punch to Dolores's review, and ultimately because they were the one that walked through it, I really wanted to give them, a lot of credit. But I got to take the 1 crown off because she needs to work on her grammar lessons, I think. But that's why I said 4, because I would not want to take any of my loved ones here. What about you, Chelsey? Why did you say 4?
I really love Dolores. I mean, when I was a kid, I was like a chubby kid, so I was never the one that was approached by any of these people, and I was always like a little bit jealous. I wanted to be approached in the mall or the Walmart, and I wasn't. And I feel like Dolores really took me through that whole process. Like, I could now write a Lifetime movie about the process of being recruited based off what Dolores said. And I think it's a real cautionary tale. I love the fact that it's from the kid's perspective. I think any parent reading this would be immediately alarmed and turn the other way. I took off the crown for, spelling and grammar and the fact that she called into question the grandpa, which I don't know why we're getting the grandpa involved. So other than that, I thought that Dolores was a real queen, and 4 crowns to you, Dolores.
And what about you, Mark? Why'd you say 4?
I feel like any kid who's taking pen to paper, or in this case, finger to iPhone, deserves a little something special, because I think kids should review everything.
Amazing. Let's take a quick break, and when we return, Mark has agreed to share a review that he himself has received. Wow.
Ooh, I can't wait for that. All right, we'll be right back.